Good afternoon YouTube. I'm going to do a video for you today about making some wine. This is just a look at the ingredients required and the equipment and stuff. So here you need your fruit. It could be any fruit. What I've got in here is peaches and pears. So I've done blueberry, elderberry, used elderberry and rhubarb, brambles, stuff like that, and it all looks fine. So in a bowl you need 3 pounds of your chosen fruit and 3 pounds of sugar. Now what I've got is this golden castor sugar, but it's unrefined castor sugar, unrefined cane sugar, and supposedly it's easier absorbed into the body and stuff, so it's a slightly more healthy alternative. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but I've heard it for people that I believe know what they're talking about, so I'm going to take their word on it. You need a pot for making your must. Must is the word for the sugar water solution part of the mixture. A bucket just for mixing everything up in generally, and then I'll leave it overnight in the bucket once everything is mixed together. For the first stage of the fermentation process it's quite vigorous, so if we leave it for the 24 to 48 hours, and then it will go into our big jug here. So one of the first things we need to do is take our pot and fill it with about approximately 2 litres of water. Right, so I've got a plastic bottle full of water here, and I'm just going to put that straight in the pot. Preferably it would be like mineral water, you know, or if you've got a water filter, you'd run the water through that first. It's supposed to give a superior wine or beer, etc., you know, but I mean, going out and buying bottled water for this is just that wee bit more effort, and also a bit more cost as well. If I had plenty of money and I had a place that I could easily locally go and get a big couple of litres of mineral water, then the chances are I'd do that, but just for the ease of getting things done, you know, it's straight out the tap. So you've got your 2 litres of water there, and the next thing you want to do is fill your kettle and stick it on to boil. Right, so we're going to take our kettle's on boiling. We're going to take a pan of water and we're going to stick it on the hob. There we go, pretty decent heat. You know, you don't need to worry about it being too hot really. You know, you want to get this water up to temperature pretty quickly. So while we're waiting for the kettle to boil and this pot to get started, get heated, I'm going to go and I'll be back in I don't know, about 5 minutes or so once the kettle's boiled. Okay, thank you. While we're waiting for the pot to boil and the kettle to boil, I'll show you the couple other ingredients we have. We have an orange. Now for my recipe I've been using 1 large orange and 1 large lemon, but I've no large lemons left, so what I'll be using is 1 orange and 2 small lemons. This is just a rough measurement. All that's required is citrus acid. It helps balance the acidity of the whole thing, nicer flavour, and apparently it gives the yeast just a wee boost to make it work more effectively. And we'll have yeast. Now this is baker's yeast, and I'm using that today just because it's what I've got. It will work fine. Brewer's yeast will give you a slightly more potent brew, and it will also work more efficiently, leaving you a slightly better taste from what I gather. But again, if I've got this here, I may as well use it. Once this runs out, then I'll switch over to brewing yeast. But for the appearance of things, the smell of my brews previously and stuff like that, this seems to be doing a pretty okay job. So I'll be back to you in a couple of minutes once the water's up to temperature and the kettle's boiled. So I'll see you in a couple of moments. Okay, thanks. Okay, so that's the water. It's getting up to almost a simmer, and the kettle's well boiled. So the first manoeuvre we want to manage here is I've got a potato masher, a sieve and a wooden spoon, and that'll all become clear in a minute. So we take our bucket, clean bucket. It is clean, that wee mark there's for when I was gathering dandelions in it, and some of they just got on the bucket, but it just appears to have tarnished it and marked it. But I've been making my wine in it, I'm quite happy to use it, so it's down to your discretion. I've got 3 pounds of fruit here, and I've got 3 pounds of sugar, equal parts fruit and sugar. 3 pounds of this is plenty for a gallon mixture. If you're going bigger than a gallon, couple of gallon will probably be fine. If you take a big 5 gallon demi-john type, it's like this kind of size, you'd maybe want to double the mixture or so. But that can be found out. I've found it most convenient to do gallon sizes, then you can do a variety of flavours. So you take your 3 pounds of fruit, stick it in, it's been de-seeded and just roughly chopped, and get it all in there. Stick that in there for a wash. So we've got a 3 pound of fruit in the bucket, and the next thing we need to do is take the kettle, fill the bucket. Most kettles are standard size. This is 1.5 litres, just to give you an idea of the quantity, but really you need just enough to cover the fruit at this point, and that's just worked out very well there. So put the fruit in the bucket, covered it in hot water, and we'll give it a wee mash, just gently, not too vigorously, you'll burn yourself, but just get it all a wee squash through, just to break everything up, get the juice starting to come out. And you can see the colour change there. Don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can certainly see there's a slight colour change. So that should be enough. Yeah, enough of a mash just now. And this hot water, that will soften it, and we'll give it another wee mash shortly. Right, so we can leave that steeping there just now, and that will soften everything up. We can get another wee mash later. If we come over here to our pot of water, like I say, it's just on the verge of simmer. It's no boiling, it's no simmering, but it's near enough, because it has to be quite hot so we can get this sugar dissolved in. So we take our 3 pounds of sugar. This is 1 pound there, get rid of that, and we've got another 2 pounds of sugar sitting here. So get that opened up and just dunk it all in, don't worry about it. I'll just get it in there, and then we'll take our wooden spoon, get a bit of a stir. Now if you use white granulated, you can actually see through the water, and you can see the sugar resting on the bottom, and you need to just keep stirring until there's no sugar left. Now with this unrefined golden stuff, it's actually turned the colour of the water pretty dark, so it's hard to tell. So if you just give it a stir, say for about 30 seconds or so, and that should be melting enough to get it going now that it's nice and hot like that. and all we want is this sugar and water mixture. Is called a must, and it's just the name, technical name for this sugar water solution, you know. So it seems pretty well dissolved, and all we've got to do now is we need to extract the juice from our citrus. So like I say, I've got orange and 1 orange, 2 small lemon. Okay, so I have a small bowl here, and what I've done is I've take some of the peel, the orange peel and the lemon peel, threw it in the bowl there, and I've halved my orange and my 2 small lemons. So what this will do is it will put citrus acid into the mixture, and it will balance out the acidity of the wine, help it have a wee better flavour, and it also kind of boosts the activity of the yeast, so it gives the yeast just a wee kickstart. So it's well worth doing. You can buy citrus acid powder, but I'm just trying to keep things as much kind of natural and straightforward as possible, you know, especially for people who maybe don't have citrus powder available locally or whatever, you know, just get the fruit in there. So I'm going to squeeze this in here, trying to keep any seeds just out as best I can. There's one in there. Squeeze the lemon out, get as much as you can out there. There we go, let the seeds out there again. And all the seeds for the peaches, for the pears, for the lemons, for the orange, everything just goes straight out onto a wee bit of waste ground at the back of the house. And hopefully one day we might end up with some fruit trees growing out there. You never know. It's a bit of a long shot, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. While you're doing this, always make sure you give the solution a wee stir, just in case there's anything left sitting at the bottom, so it doesn't stick to the bottom of your pan. That should be fine. There's some more seeds. A lot of seeds in these here lemons. It's 1 lemon, half a dozen seeds or more. So that's pretty cool. Plenty of possible trees. There we go. That's quite a decent wee volume of juice happening in there now. Also quite a few seeds have slipped through the net. There's another 3. Diesel. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a dozen seeds in like 1/2 a lemon. That's pretty impressive. Right, so there shouldn't be any on this side, I don't think, and there is. It's another 2, so over a dozen seeds. Brilliant. There we go. That one squeezed nice and easy. Getting quite a good quantity of juice now. So we'll need enough there. Get the orange. Get that juice in there. Couple of seeds. Bump, bump. No separating these seeds, just all get thrown in the one area. And whatever grows, grows. You know, let nature decide what's best to put there. Right. And there we are. Now, I don't have a juice, a wee juicer or anything like that, so hence the use of the hands. It'd be a lot cleaner and a lot easier if I'd had the wee juicing device. But you can only work with what you've got. So you take your citrus juice and your peel, whack it into the must. That's the sugar solution. There we go. I'm going to use this ladle to take a wee bit of this sugar solution. Just a wee bit. and I'm going to stick it in this container here, and what will happen is that will be a good sugary mixture, and we can put the yeast in there to get a wee head start from it. And there's a couple extra seeds in there, managed to save them, that's great. Stick that in for washing. Stick this waste to the side just now. And that's this, the must part, the mixture part finished. So now that you've got that complete with your citrus acid and your peel and stuff, and that's it ready, so you can take it off the heat. There we go. This pot's pretty hot to handle, so I've stuck the oven gloves on, and I hope you can see this. I'm just going to take the must mixture and throw it into the bucket along with our original fruit in hot water. So get it on there. It's smelling really nice now, so it's all good. What we'll do is I'm going to give it another wee mash through, still being careful though, because this water is really warm and you can burn yourself. So just get a wee mash through it, soften everything else up a wee bit. Oh, it smells really nice. Tell you that, fruity smell. Really good. You can smell the pears and the peaches. You can actually kind of tell the difference. This is my kind of favourite bit. So it's all been well mixed. Give it another wee mash there, and that's pretty much it. The next step, I'm going to take my yeast here. This is quite a lot. You normally get it in little 7 gram packets, and I would just use the one little 7 gram packet. But for this situation, I'm just going to use a wee level teaspoon. Right. So take that, get a teaspoon, shake it level more or less, and throw the yeast into that small amount of must that you separated just a few minutes ago. You mix that yeast in there, get a good stir round, and you'll see the colour change, and then it will look like, don't know, but you'll be able to see the wee individual speckles floating about. And by that point, I'd say that's a good mix, and that's plenty. So you need to set this aside at room temperature for, I don't know, maybe around about an hour. So we'll leave our fruit steeping in the bucket with sugar mixture, and we'll leave this sitting aside until you see some foam starting to form on the top. So what I'll do is I'll be back with you, say about half an hour, 45 minutes once the yeast is activated. Okay, hello YouTube, that's me back. We've got that yeast mixture here, and you can see the kind of foamy kind of skin on top, you see. And that's the yeast reacting. If you left that a bit longer, it would all be foamed up to like near the top of the bowl here. But I've decided it's good enough for me. Could wait another 10-20 minutes or so, but save waiting the time. It's the real purpose of this is just to see that there's a reaction taking place and to know that your yeast is active. Once it's active, you can't go wrong. So we'll just stick it right in the bucket. This is your bucket with your fruit, your boiled water, and then you added your must to that, which is your sugar solution. And now what we're doing is we're adding the yeast that we set aside earlier. Right, so just pour it all in, and that's us. Get your wooden spoon, give it a good stir about, just to get things kind of happening. And I mean, there you go, there's your wine. You know, that'll start fermenting now. It's a slow process to begin with, but once the process starts, you know, then it just keeps a steady reaction going. So I'll be leaving this overnight, and tomorrow afternoon I'll be coming to check on it, and it should be foamed up, and all of this fruit should be pushed up to the top, floating on the top due to the fact of all the gas that's getting created underneath. So all that's left is to leave it for until tomorrow and to have a wee check on it. Now, you can leave it any time between 24 and 48 hours depending on how long it takes for your reaction to start. Up until now, 24 hours has been about right. So we'll be back tomorrow afternoon to have a wee look at this, see how it's getting on, and get it into the jar. So that's all I can show you for now. I'll be back tomorrow to show you the process of just sieving it through and getting it in the jar. So thanks very much for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow, guys. Cheers. So good morning everybody. I'm just having a look at the brew here, and what we've got is you can see here all the fruit's been pushed up to the top, and when you stir it, getting this gassy reaction. So that's you've got fermentation. The ginger beer, as you can see, that wee row of bubbles, you know, it's slowly bubbling away, getting its pressure up. Not enough to start the bubbler going just yet though. So it is on its way, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm sure later on it'll be fairly vigorous. So the next thing I want to show you how I deal with this is I just skim the fruit off of the top, take an old container of some sort to catch it up, you know, and there we go, and I simply use a sieve. Right, you're going to lose some liquid, but there's more liquid in here than what I really need, so it's no the end of the world. You can get a big cloth, squeeze it all in, squeeze all the juice out and stuff, but it's just pretty time consuming. I put this straight in the compost heap and I'm pretty sure it's wonderful for it. And it also has the added benefit of it attracts the slugs, the fermentation. It's the same as using the beer as a slug trap. So it draws all the slugs to the compost heap and keeps them off my plants, even although the whole garden thing was a bit of a washout this year. Just get that. And there's still plenty in there to fill you, to get a jar's worth of wine happening, so it's not much to worry about. I'm running out of footage here, so I'll need to cut it here and I'll get back to you for the next step. Okay, thanks. Okay, so as you seen earlier, I used the sieve just to drain off all the large pieces of fruit. It's more or less all there now. You know, there'll be tiny wee bits of pulp and stuff, but I'm not going to worry about them. All I'm going to do now is take the bucket, stick it into the funnel and into my jug. So I'll just put these down here to do. So there you go, that's you got your jar of peach wine. Now if you look, I've also labelled it, just what it is and the date of when it was made, because in 4 weeks time what I'll be doing is it'll be coming for this bottle. I'll just be using a siphon popped in the top and siphoning it for this bottle into a clean one, leaving the sediment in the bottom. And after 4 weeks the fermentation should stop anyway, so 3 to 4 weeks time, as soon as the fermentation stops, get a clean jug, a siphon in the top, siphon it from here into the second jug, leaving behind the sediment in the bottom, which would be the yeast wastage and all that kind of stuff. Then it can sit for a further 4 weeks, where the process will be repeated again, and this is called racking. So the first rack will be in 4 weeks, followed by a second rack in a further 4 weeks time. For what I can gather, 12 weeks will get you a pretty tasty wine. I've got one there that's been sitting fermenting for 3 weeks. It's just about to be racked soon, and it's starting to taste, it was very bitter, but it's now starting to taste a bit like wine. So I'm thinking like 4 weeks is the absolute minimum, and you could drink that now, I'm sure it, but I think it'd be well worth waiting the extra 4 weeks, and I think it'll actually be very tasty after that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the wine videos, because I've had a lot of fun making it, and it's good to actually get a chance to finally share some of the stuff I've been doing with you. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That's us for now. All that's left is to stick an airlock in here, any type of airlock you like. This is all I've got left at the minute, so I'll be needing to pick up some more, but that'll do the job fine. And all you need to do is sit that in a place out of direct sunlight, kind of warm. It doesn't have to be hot, but warm and out of direct sunlight, and what you'll get is you should get a nice wine in 4 weeks time. So right, okay everybody, thanks very much for watching. Had a lot of fun making the wine. I hope that it might inspire you to go out and have a go for yourselves. Okay, thank you very much. See you later. Bye.